You saw the title of this video, you know exactly what it's on about. You want to know how you could have benefited or you could still benefit of all I'm speaking about. You want to know how you could have achieved 7.1x on your initial investment.
Oh yeah, and by the way, you could be here playing golf in this beautiful weather and nature if you'd only listen to my advice 3 months back.
Or another percentage is 711%. If the answer to all of that is yes, stay tuned to find out more. Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back to Mario's World, the place where education meets fun. In today's video we're going to be covering some of my previous videos which you'll be able to find in the top right corner when you click the I, whatever it is. But basically back in April, actually I made a video where I mentioned the 15 industries that are going to blow up due to COVID. And if you had listened correctly, you would have gained quite a lot of money. So just to summarize the whole video, I basically mentioned 15 industries that are going to blow up due to the COVID. And that is, for example, everything related to masks and medical supplies. That's the first one. Second one is cleaning services. The third one is drones. The fourth one is liquor stores. The fifth one is drive-in movie theaters. The sixth one is board games. The seventh one is fitness equipment. The eighth one is streaming services. The ninth one is adult entertainment services. Then we have webinars, documentation, security, e-commerce businesses, and so on and so on. But basically, I'm gonna briefly cover up in this video where you could have put your money when I mentioned this and what could have been the result. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I did invest in some of these companies and I did indeed get these returns. But I didn't even take my own advice and I didn't invest in all of them, which probably I should have. But at the time, I was invested in something else. I really wanted to do something else which wasn't relating to stocks. But trust me, now I'm all in it. So just something I wanted to mention, for example, is the drive-in movie theaters. I mentioned this, and now just look through Instagram and you'll be able to see how the best drive-in movie theaters are being created, and companies are also investing within that market. Which obviously that means is that there's gonna be huge development and probably some paychecks. At the same time, a lot of people decided and understood the scenario of COVID and realized that watching a movie from the comfort of their own car and at the same time experience everything live is much better than going to the movie theater. It's kind of like you're wearing a VR, isn't it? Another thing is board games. As you can imagine, this is something that happened and there are some new board games being introduced, and there's a few companies that actually did pretty well during the board game. There's actually a few companies that did considerably well when it comes down to board games. And I'm interested to know whether you guys know what I'm speaking about. So make sure you leave a comment down below whether you know what are the board games I'm speaking about. But let's move on to the next thing. What is the next industry and topic that I was speaking about? The streaming services. I mentioned this times and times ago that people should invest in the streaming services, especially before COVID. It's just natural that people are gonna spend more time on those services such as Netflix, Twitch, even Disney Plus now. But basically, just to give you an example, back when I released the video, Netflix was at a certain price. However, now it is 26% higher, and you'll be able to see a chart on the screen at the moment. Then, for example, Disney Plus, it's up 23% since April as well. And then we go to Twitch and so on and so on. The companies that are public are really growing, which obviously means that if you had invested in them, your capital will be growing as well. Then we go, for example, on the adult entertainment services. Well, as you can imagine, people are gonna spend more time at home, and they did, and they definitely did. But what I'm trying to say is, I have never seen in my life an ad about any adult services content. But lately, it's been popping up here and there, whether that's watching some streaming services or going through YouTube, and it just appears out of nowhere, which is interesting to see that these companies realize the potential and investing more into that sector. Most of them are privately led, and that's why probably you were not able to invest in them. But let me tell you, if you actually happen to find a company which is from the adult entertainment industry and it's public, definitely go for it. Then we go to webinars. I mentioned this time and time ago because people won't be traveling. You should invest in companies such as Zoom or Skype. Just to give you a brief example of Zoom. When I released the video on 11th of April up until now, you'll be able to see the insane growth. The chart will be somewhere here. Basically, the stock price is up 305%, which is crazy. Just imagine, you put £1,000, let's say for example, in April, and just 5 to 6 months after that, you already have £3,000. 3,000, which is 3x, which is crazy. But that is just the way that it works. And if you had taken that advantage, you would have made some pretty good money. Then we also have Twilio, another company which went through multiple mergers and acquisitions. It wasn't actually progressing very well, but due to the COVID, its progression really flew. And it managed to increase the stock price by 128%. Here you can have it and see the screenshot. Then we go to documentations, the ease of use, and at the same time confidentiality. There is just one really big company that comes to mind, DocuSign. DocuSign's share price since 11th of April is up 164%, which is just crazy. And if you had invested in it, you would have made 164%. So make sure you check out all of my other videos for something that you may have missed to invest in, and so on. And on that point, make sure you subscribe and turn that notification bell on so that you're all the time tuned in when I'm going to be releasing a new video. And the last thing I want to mention here is Shopify. That's from the e-commerce type of stuff. Just Shopify itself is more than 70% up since the beginning of my previous videos, since 11th of April, which is just, again, 5 to 6 months after I've made the video. Just imagine, you could have almost doubled your money since that point. And just to give you an average total of what I'm speaking about, the whole video, if you had invested in some of the companies that I previously mentioned, you would have gained 711%, if not even more, if you found better ideas and better ways. For example, if you've done it through option stock trading rather than just simply buying the stocks, you could have made much more than that, and probably in the 4 digits. And that may have been something that I did, but who cares? Who cares? So hopefully you found this video super useful, and you're gonna definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on any other opportunities that I'm gonna be mentioning later down the line. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. It's been amazing to have you here, and make sure you leave a comment down below whether you enjoy this type of stuff. Thank you, and up to the next one.